everybody. I know people wanted me to finally go live with my cooking, but I can't seem to get the live to work correctly because I think I'm too far out of my house. But today I'm actually making chicken saltimbocca, and I know it's a big word, but it's a really easy dish. Now I've already prepared the chicken, so you'll need just chicken, prosciutto, you'll need some fresh sage leaves, and you'll need some all-purpose flour, olive oil, some butter, lemon juice, because we're going to make a lemon sauce, some marsala, and some white wine, and salt and pepper to taste. Now, I've already prepared the chicken, so you guys won't have to watch me do that. But what you do is you take your chicken breast, and if it's a full chicken breast, you cut it in half, kind of butterfly it, slice it down, then you take some plastic wrap, and you put it in the plastic wrap, use a mallet, bang it down, make it flat. Then once you do that, you put your salt and pepper, then you add your sage leaves on top of that, 2 sage leaves per breast, then you put your prosciutto on top. Then you gingerly flour it with a thin coating of flour. Then after that, you've warmed your skillet, which here I have my skillet, and you have some butter and olive oil, and I'll post the actual recipe so you know the measurements, but anyone who knows me, when I cook, I don't measure. Kind of do stuff by sight. So now, we have our skillet on medium, and I actually have the butter and olive oil already melted and combined together, and I'm just going to let it get a little bit warmer again because I turned it down to turn on the video. But I always use sweet cream salted butter. I know a lot of recipes call for unsalted butter because they want to be healthy, but I prefer the taste of sweet cream salted butter, and it's not like I use a lot of it every day, so I think when I make these type of recipes, it'll be okay. But once you put the chicken in the pan, it's only supposed to cook for like 4 minutes on each side, and that's just enough to get the prosciutto crispy and then to get the chicken cooked fully, so you're not dealing with raw chicken. Then we're going to take it out of the pan, put it in a platter that we're serving in, and then we're going to make our sauce. So after we finish cooking the chicken, we make the sauce, put it in a platter, top it, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, ready to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting the chicken in the pan. You should hear it sizzling here a little bit. But you can see the prosciutto, and you always put it the prosciutto side now so they can get crispy. And right now I'm actually debuting my dash pan that I got. It's supposed to be a rapid cooker because everyone knows I now have a much smaller kitchen, so it's very hard for me to fry in my house, or whatever I fried will stay in my house for the next 2 or 3 days. And so, but I enjoy cooking out on my deck anyway, whether it be grilling or frying. So here, I guess you can see, I'll tilt it up a little bit. We're frying our chicken. And of course, for this recipe, I use the all-purpose rice blend gluten-free flour because I can't have gluten. So yes, it can be done gluten-free. And boar's head, if you're going to use meat, use the boar's head prosciutto because that's gluten-free. You always know all the boar's head products, except for maybe a couple of them, and they put it on there, they are gluten-free. So this is frying up very nicely. And really, I would say try to prepare this a little bit ahead of time before you start frying, because it lets the flour actually set on the chicken. So I did it, and I guess after I didn't heat the oil and everything while I was preparing the chicken. I just kind of did the chicken slowly at a time because it will take a little bit of, you know, slowness here to keep the prosciutto from falling off the chicken. And also you want to keep those fresh sage leaves underneath the prosciutto and everything not flying off. So, and then after everything was prepared, I let the chicken set, and then I came out and I warmed my olive oil and my butter together. And so if you're in the southern region and you have Kroger, you know, I guess like a month or so ago, they had their Taste of Spain theme going on in the store, and they had all of this organic extra virgin olive oil. Of course, when it started out, and I'm always one for a deal, of course, when it started out, it was close to, at least for this bottle, it was close to $15 a bottle. Well, by the time the theme was ending, I've got a bottle of this for $3, which is a bargain. $3 for organic extra virgin olive oil. So if you ever see deals like that, scoop them up. Oil doesn't go bad. It's a good thing to have. So we've been frying these, and see how beautifully crusted it's getting here. So we can flip these over, and this should be like another 4 minutes on each side to get it crispy. I keep adjusting it because I'm really not used to this pan yet, but I guess I will get used to it. But it seems to be doing pretty well. Which is a good thing. And it smells really good. I mean, that prosciutto crisping up on this meat smells amazing. And so while that's finishing frying, you can clean up your pan that you brought the chicken in. And normally I just put plastic wrap down so it's an easy cleanup. And here's my platter that I'm actually going to be putting the chicken on, and I'll top it with some foil so while we make the sauce, the chicken doesn't go cold. Okay, now it's adjusting back up to high. But what I've done at the bottom, and this is your choice if you want to do that, but I know there's going to be some juices and herbs flowing down here, but I used herbs de Provence and put it at the bottom so that when we actually put the chicken on top, it will have some extra herbs and spices that it's picking up at the bottom. Now, I didn't put any additional salt, but because the prosciutto was salty enough, and then of course I used sea salt and the prosciutto, and so that's enough, and some pepper. The sea salt I actually used was a truffle infused sea salt. I've been on this truffle kick for the past, I guess, month, and maybe it'll end, maybe it won't. But I think it adds a very good deep flavor to a lot of foods if you add the truffle. And so this is frying up very well. I think it only needs about 2 more minutes. Because you pounded the chicken so thin, it's not going to take that long to cook. And if you don't kind of brine your chicken breast, which I didn't do for this because there is going to be a lot of sauce with it, but if you don't brine it and you overcook it, it's going to be really dry. It's going to be tough. You don't want it. You have to deal with it. And if you don't think your prosciutto was crispy enough, you can always flip it back over too for another second or so. But it actually looks pretty gorgeous if you can see. I don't know if you can see, but you can see the sage leaves underneath the prosciutto. Maybe next time I can get a cameraman to actually come in and zoom in on this, because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just using my phone, and luckily I was digging through storage and found a tripod, and I was like, oh, now I don't have to use a 9-year-old to film me, so we can have fun. She's taking a nap. So as you can see, this side has gotten a nice crispy brown coating. We'll just give it 1 more minute, and then we can start making the sauce. Now, the recipe that I had originally does not call for capers, but I love capers. And if you're going to use a lemon sauce, I love capers. And when you're flouring your chicken, make sure you reserve 2 tablespoons to the side so that you can make the roux for your sauce. And I think these are about done. One little more flip onto the prosciutto side. And it's a gorgeous day. It's hot, but it's pretty good here under the deck since I have fans, so that helps out a lot. And these absolutely look gorgeous. Look at that nice little brown skin go there. My daughter will be happy when she wakes up. We'll have dinner. She's been complaining she's hungry, but I've been dealing with dogs at the bed all day. Nothing major, just routine, but dogs having dental work, they're not happy when they come home. So we're going to take these out and put them on our prepared platter. Now, time for our sauce. Now, I'm going to use the white wine to deglaze this pan just a tad bit. Get all the good stuff off of there. Scrape it out. Okay, turn it down a little bit. Now I'm going to add some more butter. And remember, I don't measure. So this is probably about 2 tablespoons of butter. And of course we're hot out here, so I'll let that melt. A little bit of olive oil, drizzle. Let that heat up a bit. Down. I'm still learning this pan, so I'll keep messing with the temperature a little bit. So now we have our 2 tablespoons of flour. Now, when I fry chicken, when I cook my chicken, I actually season my chicken. Well, season my flour, sorry, I season chicken too. But I actually season my flour, so I still have the salt and pepper in the flour. And we're gonna whisk to get a roux going here. Once we have our chicken in here, I take a little bit of marsala. I love marsala. And add that. I'm going to turn this down. And then now we're going to add our lemon juice. One thing I did forget, which that happens, and if you excuse me, was the chicken broth. And I'm back. So it says veggie broth on here, but this is actually chicken broth. I saved the jars. This I made stock from chicken. So you add the chicken broth. And then ramp it up back a little bit more. Get this boiling so we get our broth together, our sauce together. And after we get it bubbly, that's when I add the capers. The capers is the last thing I'm going to add. So just keep whisking until it gets back up to temperature. My broth is a little cold. But once you get it back up, it smooths out. You just keep whisking. To me, cooking is not an exact science. Even if you have a recipe and it tells you how many tablespoons, how many cups, it's still never going to be an exact science for me. It's all based on your taste, really. That's what a recipe is. It's based on somebody's taste, and they told you the measurements they would use, but sometimes you wouldn't agree with those measurements. Okay, now we're getting back up to the boil. I'm going to temper it down again, because we really don't want it to be thick. I guess I should just go ahead and use the rest of it. There's no point in keeping a drizzle in the jar. Go. Now, does that sauce not look beautiful? Now what I'm going to do is turn this down to warm, because you don't want it to get any thicker than this. Just to taste. I'm old school, so very good. You can really taste the lemon. So what I would do, I'm not going to pour it on top. I'll take the chicken and put it back in. You see, it's picked up some of my herbs of Provence at the bottom of the platter. We'll put it in. Just let them kind of slop in there a little bit. Well, not slop, I guess that's a bad word. Kind of rest in there. Flip them over. Over. There we go. Then I will put them back in our platter. Go. They're pretty. Great. Now, the capers. Just get a little. These are huge capers. Normally I like the smaller ones, but I didn't have those in my cupboard because that's how I chop them. So I'm just going to stir these around in here, and these are really going to be kind of almost a garnish. So if somebody really wants capers, they can take them, but I'll just put them on. They can have them or not have them. And so that'll go on top. I know this seems a bit tedious, but this is the way I do it all the time. Don't have 150 million dishes to put out there. And then there's always extra gravy left. And that's fine. You can, if you're serving it for a group, you can put that in a bowl. And if somebody wants extra gravy, they can have it. But here we go. Our chicken saltimbocca. A very nice Italian dish. Now, originally, this dish is made with veal. And believe you me, you do not at all have to use veal. You can use chicken, you can use turkey, you can use pork if you want to. So it's just like making schnitzel. It's just pounded meat dredged in flour with a little slight fry, and then you put the gravy with it. So I hope you enjoyed that recipe, and join me later for another recipe. This is Nom Nom Mom's kitchen. Well, kitchen out on the deck. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.